Juventus continue to probe and press to try and find a way to bring Sergei Milinkovic-Savic to Juventus, all right? And now have talks opened up with Castagne. We've got that latest report. Kulusevski deal done as of yesterday. What are the next steps for Juventus? And are they potentially going to be selling Miretti? We're going to take a look at all the news this morning, all right? Like the video, subscribe to the channel. This is the AJC. I'm Alberto. Let's rock. We're going to kick things off with youngsters. Casadei is a name that comes up a lot recently amongst Juventini and discussions about potential players coming in. Fabrizio Romano today reports that Chelsea has 3 loan requests for the player, but nothing concrete coming from Juventus. All right, so there you have it as far as Casadei is concerned. Now, Hans Nicolucci Caviglia, Juventus property. Salernitana would like to purchase the player at 8 million euros. This deal could potentially go down very, very soon. As far as another youngster we get to, Fabio Miretti, all right? So Miretti, it started off with just loan discussions. Genoa and Salernitana being interested, and a loan would be absolutely fine. But as of today, it changes, and Salernitana would like to purchase the player outright and is offering up 15 million euros. The early reports and indications out of Juventus are that they are not interested in an outright sale, and I would hope that that's the case. I would think it'd be far too premature to sell Miretti outright. However, we do know what we've been hearing for about a month now is that Juve is going to weigh out all offers on all their players. And even when it comes to Federico Chiesa, we've heard mixed reports that he is untouchable and that they are going to listen to offers. I don't think that they're just going to brush off a sale of a young player at 50 million euros completely. I think that they'll entertain it as well. But I hope ultimately we don't sell Miretti outright. Let me know what you think in the comment section, all right? Now, in keeping things going, Castagne from Leicester looking to leave Leicester. Yesterday, reports surfaced that Juve is interested in bringing him in. Today, Mirko Di Natale states that there is nothing concrete that he can find as far as contacts being made between player, his entourage, and Juventus. However, he does say that Castagne is one of the names on Mana's list of targets, all right? Another name on that list is somebody that Juventini bring up in the daily update video comments all the time, and that's Bowie out of Galatasaray, available for 20 million euros. And Mirko Di Natale says he is also on said list for Juventus, all right? So still a lot to take a look at in terms of fullbacks, and we've got another one coming up because the Kulusevski deal being done, the next steps according, now this opens up the door for Parisi and Frattesi. So Parisi, we know that Juventus has terms agreed with the player. Now the kicker there is finding a deal with Empoli. Empoli likes Ranocchia, and it is being rumored that Ranocchia could be going the other way. However, what's stopping us from pulling the trigger on some of these other moves? You're going to start to see this because, again, the other name that was listed here that could be the next step in the business now that the Kulusevski deal is done is Parisi and Frattesi. Well, Frattesi is valued at 35 million euros. We know that Inter is looking to take him up and snatch him up and wrap things up, okay? Juventus still interested in the player. It's being reported that all things are on hold with Frattesi because of Rabiot, but I don't necessarily believe that, okay? Because if they can find a deal for even Frattesi, I think they would. He would actually cost them a lot less in terms of salary. Now, the kicker is players involved that Sassuolo would want going the other way, because we've been hearing this from everyone, Mirko, Romeo, Skira, that they're going to have to probably incorporate some talent the other way. Ranocchia, who's also listed as a target for Empoli in the Parisi deal, is also a target for Sassuolo. So this makes things complicated for Juventus. De Winter is another name, and also is Barnechea. So Juventus has to figure things out here, how they're going to maneuver this and how they're going to work this out in finding a deal. But it is not all done and dusted on Frattesi, and something could still go down. But they have to look if how they could still manage, if Ranocchia has to be incorporated in one of those deals, how they could still work the others. So still, all of this is up in the air and open. And De Winter being another name involved in that Frattesi deal potentially, Mirko Di Natale says that it's also not out of the question for De Winter to be part of the team next season. Yesterday, we got great news on 2 extensions, Nonje to 2026 and Houston to 2027. That is fantastic news. Houston, a lot of Juventini want Houston right away to be in the first team next season, but De Winter could be the play here, all right? Bringing him in, getting minutes, and allowing Houston that rotational spot deeper down on the depth chart. But is that going to be as good for Houston than racking up a ton more minutes still with next gen? For me, I think it might be too soon for Houston, but I think the occasional spot and call up here and there will go a long way. And do not forget, he was still training with the first team quite a bit this past year, and that doesn't have to change. And there'll be a lot of gains made there as well. But all interesting news surfacing around Juventus. And then the kicker, as my sources said, and I've been saying for a couple weeks now, Juve is not done on Sergei Milinkovic-Savic, and they still continue to push. Today, you hear the next bit. Zakaria and 15 million euros is going to be offered to Lazio to try and bring in Sergei Milinkovic-Savic. Now, if we take a look at the grand scope of things, they want Pellegrini. We can give them a discount on Pellegrini, okay? We wanted to sell him for 12 to 15 mil. Even if they want to buy him at 10, that's fine. If they can get them to accept Zakaria and 15 million euros for Sergei Milinkovic-Savic, this is a beautiful piece of business, because now you've found solutions for Pellegrini, for Zakaria, and you've only come out of pocket 15 million to bring in Sergei Milinkovic-Savic, who in my opinion makes an instant boost to this squad. All right, so we'll see what happens, but fingers crossed that this goes down. And hey, I have no idea if Lazio has any interest whatsoever in Zakaria, but it is free to dream, everybody. It is free to dream. Don't forget, tomorrow morning we're live at 8:30 a.m. Eastern Time, tackling the whole week of news surrounding Juventus. Look forward to seeing you all in there and mixing it up. All right, like the video, subscribe to the channel, but you know the drill. Drop your questions, comments, thoughts, opinions on all the news you just heard today in the comment section. Let's mix it up. Till tomorrow, fino alla fine, forza Juve.